Looking to transform your family game nights? At Perfectly Picked Games, we specialize in family games that bring everyone closer. Our games aren't just fun. Kids and teens will learn how to take turns, develop basic strategy skills, and understand the thrill of winning and grace of losing. With our exclusive gift of games, you can give months of gaming excitement to your family. Choose a 3-month or 6-month gift, and we'll deliver hand-picked family games to your doorstep every month. And here's the best part. Right now, you can use the promo code GOLDENMOJO and receive 20% off your selected plan. Don't miss out on this exclusive offer. Use promo code GOLDENMOJO and save 20% today at Perfectly Picked Games.
Welcome to the United States of Paranormal Podcast. Sit down and buckle up for an enlightening ride through everything cryptid, creepy, and paranormal.
Hello, all of my paranormal freaks out there. It is I, Golden J, hanging out with
the Rocker Chick
and
J-Dub.
And this is the United States of Paranormal.
Paranormal.
I'm going to put this out there for you, Mason. Celestial Stag.
Celestial Stag.
Oh, my.
I don't think it's quite the same when I say it, though. What's been going on, gang?
Not much. Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl.
I know.
Again.
It's funny to listen back to the episodes because we do record them a couple weeks in advance.
Oh, shit.
And I was
You can just cut that.
no shit. Why am I cutting that?
Because this will probably come out after the Super Bowl.
Way after the Super Bowl, yeah.
Okay.
No, it's funny because, I was listening to today's episode, which was Riverdale Road, and we were talking about I think we just won the wild card game against the Dolphins.
Like, yeah. See,
wow, we're already going
that.
to the Super Bowl and we're still talking about the wild card game. So,
yeah.
Hey, it's all good. It's podcast world. Anything else going on?
Not really.
No?
I'm pretty boring.
Well, that's not exciting. Nothing going on while out at the barn trying to feed the horses?
Well, I fell twice when we had all that ice. Busted my butt and my knee. And then I tried to not break my neck on all those rock hard solid turds.
All the horse turds.
Yeah, it's like you step on them and it's like whoop, like you're stepping on a ball.
It's true. How about you? Step on any shit lately?
I don't think so.
So you've heard me and J-Dub talk about our coworker Lindsay and how crazy she is. Mm-hmm. And she is on this kick lately where she's just intently trying to scare people.
Yes.
Okay, so she got me the other day. So our dock area, we have a big overhead door. And right beside it is a little, little 4-foot door that you would walk in if the big door's down. And she got me as I was walking through the big door because it was open because she was hidden behind the little door. And she's like, I heard you coming down the hallway. The same day, I was coming back down to go back in the dock. And if you're walking down the hallway, they have a mirror dome up on the one wall where you can see what's coming down that hallway, so you don't run into anybody. It's it's a nice thing to have. I've missed many of people because of that mirrored ball. And I looked up and I thought, because I was talking, and I looked up and I thought I saw her duck back behind that door. And I'm like, oh yeah, she thinks she's going to get me. So as I'm walking into the dock, I go, I know you're behind the door. I seen you in the mirror. And I walked in, and she was clear across the room sitting at her desk.
Oh, my gosh.
So I don't know what exactly I saw in that mirror ball, but I swear I saw somebody move back behind that fucking door.
I don't look in those because I've seen people in them, and there's nobody there.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I will not look in those. I don't care if I plow into somebody. I'm not looking at them.
I have never had that experience, but I honestly don't know what I saw. Like I said, it was just a quick glance, and I thought. So I told her about that when I was sitting there, and we were trying to get somebody, if something had come into that dock area, we tried to get them to move a cart, but nothing happened. So it was just crazy.
I got her good the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah. The FedEx guy was delivering, and I was over by the door, and she was talking to somebody, and I went up and I got right behind her, and she like stood up and backed up and bumped into me, and it scared the crap out of her. So I said, "No farting."
Yeah, that's the going thing now there, Rocket Chick. Everybody yells at each other, "No farting." But obviously, from the story that Jen told before we started recording, it doesn't happen a lot. Our other coworker might have scared one of our truck drivers on Tuesday this week, and that's kind of a running gag right now, is because this girl is not, she's just having a little bit of fun, but she's really timid normally.
Yeah, she's like a mouse.
Yeah.
She's very sweet, and she's an old lady, and yeah.
It was so funny. Yay! This is the fun we do have at work.
Mm-hmm.
But we are very professional too.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, like when Jen's throwing boxes at me.
It happens.
Yeah, I was trying to pull a box out the other day, and they started to all tumble, and I just grabbed the top box and pushed them all off to the side, and I'm like, fuck it. I need this box right here.
Yep. That's what I usually do. I'm just like, get out of here.
That's why I didn't think anything of it. Back in the old days, if I'd have done that, I would have got reported.
What?
Yeah, I've been reported for my anger issues while on the dock.
Oh, my gosh.
Hey, it is what it is. It's all good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, since there's nothing really exciting going on, except, the United States Paranormal.
Got any emails for us?
I don't. I was looking
People.
before we started. No emails. Oh, except, to help grow your penile links by 100%.
That's funny.
I deleted that. Actually, you know what? I did have, and I'm just going to bring this up because I did get 3 emails from somebody under the name Safety Bear. But 2 of them were delivery status failure. So they had sent them, and I got notifications, but they said that there was something wrong with them. And the third one, they sent some pictures that I don't understand what they are. So if you are the Safety Bear and have listened to our show and sent these, can you try email us again? Because with a story of what they look like footprints, and I'm assuming they're Bigfoot footprints.
Ooh.
But I got no context with them. So if you are Safety Bear, can you email us again or hit us up on Facebook, IM us, and give us a little background on what these pictures are. I'd appreciate it because the other stuff just did not come in. I don't know why.
That's weird.
Yeah. All right, J-Dub, what do you got for me?
Let me ask you this. Would you rather be able to converse with animals or have lifelong fluency in every human language?
I would rather converse with animals.
I think I'm going to go the same thing. I think I'd rather talk to animals because, I mean, I don't really want to talk to in other languages to people. I think we were talking about that today. Talking about Lindsay had taken French and still doesn't know how to speak it. And, she said she wished she'd have taken Spanish instead because it would have been more useful now. And I said, I want to learn Latin. That'd be not the only one I want to learn.
I took Spanish in high school and I flunked it. I can't speak any other language. English is hard enough for me. I would like to talk to animals. I know what they're saying because, my one pig, I go out to feed her and she's like screaming at me. I wish I knew because she's probably like, bitch, you're late with my food.
You bring me that slop again? Come on.
Yeah, she's very vocal.
I think it'd be interesting. I want to know why Ozzy's so pissed off at me these days.
Because you're an ass.
I am not an ass. I'm a fine, upstanding human being.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Has it just started like lately?
Yes.
Maybe he knows you're an alien.
It's not really Jeremy. It's not really
Yeah.
Golden Jay.
It's not really.
Yeah. Something has got inside you.
But your butthole is a
It's a
iron
steel trap. That's
steel
right.
Trap. Yeah.
Don't you forget it. It is a steel trap. Nothing in, nothing out. Unless I want it.
Out.
Thank you.
Oh my.
Just keep flashing
we
back
go.
to that movie. Did you say 2 fingers? I better make that 3. You never seen, what was that, Road Trip? Or I forget what movie that was.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
It's one of with him in it.
Stifler.
Yeah.
Stifler,
Yeah. Classics. Classics. And if you like movies and like to talk about movies and hear funky opinions about movies, you can check out the Call Guys
Funky.
podcast.
Funky opinions.
We just did their 100th episode. I'm not sure when it's coming out. I think it's late February, but what a riot. So look for that to be coming out at the end of February. That's my plug for podcasts.
Call Guys.
The Call Guys. Do you listen to the Call Guys?
I have, yeah.
Right on. Do you listen to Golden 80s?
I have. I don't have a lot of time to listen to anything.
I did get a message from Chico this morning. It said there's a funny sound. I can't tell what it is. There's a laugh or something behind Jen when she's talking, and I'm pretty sure it was the rocker chick's laugh.
Yeah.
I'm almost 100% positive that's what it was. So, if you heard it in the episode of
Riverdale Road.
Riverdale Road, then you'll know what that is. But
Did you listen to it?
Today's episode? No, I
Yeah,
did
the
not.
laugh. She would know if it was hers.
well, I went in and took it down to just her track and listened to it, so I know it's her.
I got you.
Sorry, make less noise.
No, you did.
I'm just gonna sit back here. Moo.
You're gonna sit back here and just make mouth noises.
So people think that we have paranormal activity in the studio.
You know, besides the Puckwudgie episode that we heard that voice, we have never had anything else happen. You still over there working it? There you go, Chico. Did you hear that one? There was a roar in the background. And all right, guys, you ready to get into today's story?
Yes!
All right.
Ooh, where are we going?
We are going up north.
Up north.
Up north.
Like, Canada?
Not quite that far
Not
north.
quite that far.
But we're going as far north as we can go without going to Canada.
All right.
All right.
We are going to Mackinac Island.
Ooh, I love that place.
Have
Is
you
it
been there?
Mackinac
I
or
have.
Mackinac?
Well, see, I was going to ask that because there's no W on when I did all my research and did all my writing. There's no W, so W would make it Mackinac, right? But this is Mackinac.
I'm
with
pretty
a
sure it's
NAC.
Mackinac. I've always heard it Mackinac.
Have you had your Google pronounce it for you?
No,
Do that.
hold on. Let me bring up the app here.
Let's see who's right.
I don't know who's right. I mean I don't even pretend to know. That's why I said Mackinac. Are you over there taking pictures of yourself?
Nope.
All right, I got it. Let's see if I can bring this up here.
Mackinac.
Really?
Mackinac.
Really?
You want to hear it one more time?
I heard it.
Oh, fuck, it went away. I don't want to type it again. Wait, here we go.
That's so weird.
How many amazing apps do we have out there? Mackinac. All right.
It was weird.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Mackinac.
I like it.
Mackinac Island was the home of the Ottawa settlement before the Europeans started to explore the area during the 17th century. Later, it became an essential area where the Great Lakes fur trade took place. And as time passed by, more and more establishments were put up at Mackinac Island, such as Fort Mackinac and the Grand Hotel. There were two big battles that took place in Mackinac Island in the War of 1812.
Really?
Yes. During the middle of the 1800s, the island became the home of the fishermen who made a living out of commercial fishing, obviously. Fishing industry became the next source of income after the fur industry. And another notable thing at Mackinac Island is that motorized vehicles are not allowed in the area. Mm-hmm. And I knew that. But I didn't realize that the ban started during the 19th century and has continued to this day. But many claim that every square inch of the island is actually haunted.
Wow. I believe it.
I mean, it's only, about 4.5 miles.
It's not big.
I hear that you can bike completely around it in an afternoon. Mm-hmm. So,
Okay.
I have never been there. We have talked about doing it for years. We just have never been there.
You need to go.
I hear the pictures and stuff that I saw. The place is amazingly beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
So, and then you can get up here and check into some of these places I'm going to tell you about.
Yeah.
I'm going to start this off by saying, okay, so every square inch is haunted. And there are a lot of different stories. But the stories are very short. And I wanted, and I hunted for hours and hours. I really did. I wanted to bring you a personal experience from each place. I thought that would be fun. As much success as I had with Reddit during my last story, that was one of the first places I went. And man, it was tough and there's some of these I don't have personal experiences on. A couple of them I do, but so you'll just have to bear with me as we kind of go through these places. Cool.
We'll take whatever you give us.
Oh, like I've never heard that before. Man.
Oh, Jesus.
What?
Nothing.
All right. For starters, we're going to start out at the Mission House. It was built in 1825 and served as a boarding school for more than 500 Native Americans. Reports claim that 16 of these students died due to illness. Ooh. The ghosts of these students are said to be the ones haunting the Mission House to this day. Many employees claim to hear children playing at night, like they're tossing a ball down the hallway, knocking over alarm clocks, and most of the employees claim to be woke up by the ghost bumping into their beds.
Ooh.
Can you imagine that?
Be weird.
It would be pretty fucked up. You're laying there and it's like, fuck, come on, guys. But, I mean, as I ran across these stories, there was a lot of kids' stories. I mean, a lot of children have died up there of illness and stuff. I mean, we'll get into that a little bit more. But that was the Mission House. So, I mean, the house itself sets a little bit off of my next place because it's kind of all in the same area. But the next one is Mission Point Theater and Resort. Once again, a beautiful resort. A ghost named Harvey haunts the theater. Harvey was reportedly a man who was brokenhearted, so he shot himself.
Oh.
Why would you do that over heartbreak? Something better is just on the way.
One door closes, another door opens.
Yeah, but it made my dad a terrible cabinet maker. I was hoping you'd go there so I can bring that joke out.
I didn't notice he's the only one laughing.
I got a million of them. Allegedly, his body was found only 6 months later. Now, if you've ever seen the Mission Point Theater and Resort, it is built into the bluffs of the island, and he had actually went up into the bluffs and shot himself up there and committed suicide up there, and that's why they didn't find him until 6 months later. Others believe that he was killed, and the reasoning behind that is that there was no firearm present, and the coroner's report described 2 bullet holes in the victim's head. I mean, he's in the bluffs. I mean, if it could ricochet off a rock and come back in, maybe, you know, if it made it through and through. But you know, it's kind of crazy. I'm just speculating here. I don't know, but I thought that was a little strange. But
Sounds a little shady.
it's shady. But none of these were clarified to this day. So Harvey reportedly loves pinching and poking victims. Mainly, he likes to flirt with women guests.
That'd be fun.
One brand new tour guide who was giving one of her first tours when she was in the theater area, she heard a chair being dragged across the stage behind her. She was thinking she was being pranked by some of the other tour guides who had been there for a long period of time, and she leaned back and told them to stop. But when she turned around and turned on all the lights, noticed that the chair had not moved at all.
Ew.
Spooky.
Spooky. Residual sound.
Or maybe he moved the chair and then put it back when she wasn't, and didn't. Maybe he lifted it up and put it back.
Maybe.
Maybe not. Who knows?
That's a possibility.
Anything's possible with these ghosts these days. They're crazy. They're insane.
Insane.
All right, let's move on to Fort Mackinac. Shall we?
Yes.
There are claims that 2 children haunt this area. There have been claims of the kids running up and down the hallways, and they would go into rooms and find that the toys that were in that room were just sprawled out all over the floor. The little backstory on the kids is that the father was actually stationed at the fort, and both of his kids passed away of illness while they were living in the fort, and that's why they're still there. Oh. Also, some claim that they have heard the Phantom Piper playing his instrument, particularly on misty mornings. Visitors have also reported strange orbs in pictures, and in the hospital portion of the fort, people have feelings of like sadness, and apparently they have pictures of an apparition of phantom limbs, like a leg. Somebody took a picture and it was like a leg hanging on the wall or something like that.
Oh God.
I looked for the picture, but I couldn't find it.
You know, the sadness, if it was, you said it was in the hospital part,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
The sadness, I mean, it's a hospital. Can you imagine the amount of sadness that families had when they lost somebody, or
Oh, yeah.
somebody's sick and they're sad? And
Well, even the sadness of death itself. I mean, you know, I can only imagine, you know, because I haven't ever experienced it. But, you know, if you go by some of the tales that you hear of people that have, you know, have watched themselves die, you know, or I don't even say that. They come out, they have out of body experiences is what I'm getting at. And those that come back in to tell the story. But if you imagine, if you have an out of body and you're standing over yourself as they're working on you or you're dying, I can imagine the sadness and the depression that falls into that. Mm-hmm. If ghosts have sadness and depression.
I'm sure they do.
I don't know.
I would bet it would be worse when if you were sad or depressed when you were living, and then to be a ghost, I would bet it would probably be worse.
I would think so. I don't know. It's an interesting concept to actually think about. I mean, the idea of seeing yourself on the operating table or on an ER table or, whatever the case may be, and getting pushed back into your body and then coming out and telling that story of being able to know everything that was going on in that room. And, you were actually unconscious at the time and you really shouldn't know that. But then again, they say that you can know everything that's going on around you when you're unconscious too. You can still hear people talking to you and things like that.
Right.
I don't know. When I'm unconscious, I'm out. I don't get nothing.
Like your nap today?
I did take a nap today. Fell asleep in my chair in the house studio. It's very comfortable. Let's move on to the Biddle house, shall we?
All right.
It was owned by a fur trader by the name of Edward Biddle in the early 1800s. He had 4 children, and the youngest, 8-year-old Mary, passed away. Now, once again, as you read stories, you get different aspects. So I'm going to give you both of these aspects real quick. So it is believed that she died of pneumonia, but the cause of her death was never confirmed. But I read a story, and I thought this was really cool, and this is why I added this in here. I read a story that Mary had fell through the ice just off of the island. She had been walking out on the ice and fell through, and she passed away in December of 1833. And that Edward, her dad, had started marking safe paths from the mainland to the island with Christmas trees.
Wow.
So he was marking this off. And my understanding is those paths are still used today by snowmobilers and stuff like that. So to stay on what would actually be a little bit more solid ice when they're traveling through those areas.
Oh, neat.
So, but Mary has been spotted in the upstairs window of the house. Yeah, so people passing by, they look up and they see her just looking out the window as people were passing by or whatever. But the grave of Mary is the oldest known grave in St. Anne's Cemetery on the island.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? So 1833. I can't believe they wouldn't. I can't believe they're. Okay, so hers is the oldest in St. Anne's, but the War of 1812 was going on up there. I imagine there's probably a lot of unmarked graves up there. Also, they claim that a lot of Native American burial sites are up there too, and a lot of them got disturbed, and that was the cause of a lot of the paranormal activity throughout the entire island. So I didn't dive too deep into that, but. Also, let's go to the drowning pool.
Ooh.
All right. The drowning pool is the name given to a small lagoon located between Mission Point and downtown Mackinac Island, where 7 women who were accused of practicing witchcraft during the 17 and 1800s were allegedly put on trial. According to the legend, all suspected witches, are you ready for this? Were strapped to a wooden chair and lowered into the lagoon as a test. If the suspect floated, then they believed to be guilty of witchcraft and sentenced to death. Of the 7 women who were put on trial at the drowning pool, all of them were proven to be innocent, but tragically drowned as a result.
Oh my goodness. Because they didn't come back up and float?
They didn't come back up, and they're waiting. They're just waiting. They're going to float. They're all witches. They're going to float. Well, guess what?
They were.
Yeah.
I had never heard of that, but then I watched this TV show called Salem, and it's about witches, and they actually did that on one of the episodes.
Really?
Yeah.
Now pedestrians walking along the nearby Dennis Cawthorn shoreline trail report encountering apparitions and shadow figures which appear to emerge from the depths of a lagoon at night. Others report hearing sounds of disembodied screams or feeling a strange presence, or seeing an unseen entity lurking nearby. So they're kind of getting that feel. It's just once again, the drowning pool is a well-known folklore tale of Mackinac Island residents. So, take that one in for questioning. Urban legends.
Urban.
But yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
The drowning pool.
I don't think I'd want to be walking by there and hear screaming. No thanks.
I don't think that would be the highlight of my day. You're up there in that beautiful island walking around enjoying yourself and somebody starts screaming. What are you going to do?
Look around to see who's screaming.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Are you ready for one more?
Yeah.
All right. So this is the big one. The big one. This is the one that every article that you read about the haunting of Mackinac Island always talks about. The Grand Hotel.
Oh, that place is beautiful.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Construction workers claim to have uncovered human remains while they dug the area for the hotel's foundation. This is the area where the evil entity reportedly lurks. The entity is described as a black mass with glowing red eyes. One man who was at the theater stage of the Grand Hotel said that he was knocked off by the evil entity. The man did not wake up for 2 days, and when he finally regained consciousness, he could not be convinced to return to the Grand Hotel anymore.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, I think if I was knocked out for 2 days, and I don't think I'd want to go back either.
Nope.
Visitors and employees also claim that they sometimes see a man wearing a top hat playing the piano at the bar, and a woman in a Victorian clothing roaming the halls and sometimes even getting into bed with guests.
Ain't no room in my bed, lady.
Scoot over. I'm getting in.
No farting.
One guy thought this is one of the little stories that I found. One guy thought that his roommate had come home early and was sitting on the top of the bunk above him. There was a staggering dent above him as if someone was sitting on the bed. He got up to go outside, but he reached for the door. He looked back, and he saw a woman sitting on his top bunk. She was wearing all white Victorian clothing.
Again, all white.
All white. We keep going back to that. What's up with that?
I don't know. You would think that they wouldn't have. Maybe they just didn't have dye in that area or something, so everything was white. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well, in that time period, they didn't have dye.
Maybe not in that area. Who knows? I don't know.
This next story from the Grand Hotel is from Patricia Moore via the Ghost of the Grand Hotel webpage. My one and only experience with a ghost. My husband and I were on our honeymoon, and after a carriage tour, dinner, and dancing, we retired to our room. Man, what a husband, taking her out for dinner and dancing.
I know.
God, what a suck up.
He was probably trying to get some. He's like, I'm going to take her to dinner, take her dancing, and I'm going to get some. But joke's on him. She probably went to sleep.
More than likely.
Done more her out.
Yep.
That's why you get some before you go out for dinner and dancing.
Okay.
It was one of the small older rooms where one can barely get around she called it the poster bed. I'm assuming it's, like a,
post
yeah.
bed. Yeah.
Yeah, there must have been a halo hanging from it. No? It's a Sugar Ray song, sorry.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I know now.
sometime in the middle of the night, I woke up and saw a bedaggered looking soldier leaning against the poster at the foot of my husband. He didn't speak. He didn't scare me, but somehow communicated with me. It's okay. This is my room. Go back to sleep now. I went back to sleep in the morning. I told my husband, who knew I was the biggest skeptic ever, he believed me. But when I asked the hotel employees, they definitely and quickly changed the subject.
Of course they did.
Now, if I don't think I thought I read that the Grand Hotel does not really buy into the whole paranormal because they try to keep their experiences as normal as possible for the visitors and stuff like that. I do believe this is the one place where they don't allow paranormal investigations.
Yeah, because it's very, very touristy, and lots of people bring their families and little kids, and they don't want their kids to be scared.
Exactly. So if you're going up there to go on a ghost hunt to the Grand Hotel, don't tell them that's what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you hear about these hotels that do that. They're like, no, there's no paranormal investigation here. But who's going to stop somebody from roaming the halls at 1 a.m. with a fucking, a meter?
Yeah.
Or, I mean, I don't imagine you would take your fucking REM pod or something out there. But, just to have a meter to kind of catch a glimpse of whatever. But maybe a camera, a GoPro or something like that. I don't know that anybody would really stop you and say you can't do that. But as long as you're not making a ruckus, too. I mean, be respectful of the guests that are there and so on and so forth. But that was just a few of the stories from the Mackinac Island. It's driving you nuts, isn't it?
No,
I'm
good with it.
I always thought it was Mackinac, but everything I found was that spelling. So that's why I've been calling it Mackinac.
Well, and she told us that's what it was.
Yeah, my little trusty app.
Yep. I liked it.
It was fun. I want to do something a little bit different. I know I started to just kind of look into Michigan in general, and I ran across this, and I'm like, oh, that'd be kind of cool because everybody loves this island. Everybody I've ever talked to who's ever went there loves it. Said it's amazing. Do you have to take the bridge to get to it?
You can take a ferry.
You can take a ferry. Can you? Well, no, there's no cars on it. So
I don't think there's. Is there a bridge to it?
What is the Mackinac Bridge?
That is going. I think the Mackinac Bridge is just going over the water, but it's not to the island because there's no.
There's no vehicles. Yeah,
so you have to take a ferry.
That's a good point.
But they have.
So does that take you from the upper to the lower peninsula then, the Mackinac Bridge?
Yeah, I think so.
Interesting.
Don't quote me.
No, I actually, I think you're dead on with that. I didn't really put it all together, but yeah, if there's no vehicles on there, why would you have a fucking bridge that went there?
Yeah. But like when we went, I was in high school and people would camp at a campground on, not on the island, but you can take your horses there. And now, and trail ride all around, but they have actual horses there that you can rent and bikes that you can rent. But now I read that they have a barn on the island where you can stay in like a cabin or the hotel and have your horses staying on the island with you. And then you can ride around. I want to do it.
Well, let me ask you this. How would your horses fare on the ferry?
I don't know. Some of them don't care. Some of them, they give some sedatives and
right on.
Calm them down. But all the ones that I've seen that have done it said their horses were fine on it.
I mean, it's have you done a ferry? Have you ever done a ferry where, out in the big water like that?
I rode it to Mackinac Island.
Okay, well, that's fair. Sorry. Yeah, but you were like 12.
No, I said high school. It's like 17.
We did one down in Galveston, and I know that it's a different feeling to be on a ferry out in the open water like that. It's very it's cool. I mean, but it's definitely a different kind of feeling. And I know how sensitive horses are when it comes to different things like that.
But the ferry for that's probably not as big as the one we were on because that was cars.
Yeah, and when you
Cars
could
were
fit
down
like
that.
3 or 4 semis on that thing,
Yeah.
Nose to tail. So
Dang.
yeah, it was big. Yeah, you know when you're when you're sitting in line and you see a semi and you're like, you're not putting that on my fucking boat. What are you
Right?
doing?
I mean, you had like parking areas, and then you could go up and stand on the thing. But yeah, it was a big boat.
A big boat.
Yeah, it's like that with the ferry for them. The horses are on the bottom where you would have parked cars, and
Right.
people are upstairs.
Intriguing. Yeah, one of these days. I keep saying we're going to go do all this
Whatever.
shit.
I hear that all the time.
You need to go. Go this summer.
I think we're heading down to New Orleans this summer, ain't we?
I don't know.
I got to get with your sister and figure
We'll
that
see.
out.
I mean, you can do it in a weekend.
That's true.
Leave like Friday and then come back Sunday.
That's true. Just go up and take the tour and hang out. Now, from my understanding, there's no hotels or anything on the island. Well, the Grand Hotel's there, I guess, but I mean, you'd have to book that out way in advance, wouldn't
Yeah,
you?
and it's probably really expensive. They have all kinds of campgrounds around there too. You could probably get a cabin or something.
Oh, there you go. I don't know.
Airbnb.
Yeah.
Something. I'm sure there's something.
Fucking Airbnb. God, Golden Jay, you're a fucking dumbass. Airbnbs are everywhere.
Yes, they are.
Stupid. All right. Well, there you go.
Mackinac Island.
Yeah.
Mackinac.
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 Or as the rocker chick calls it, Mackinac. All right. Well, I don't really have anything else for today's episode, so I guess we'll go ahead and get on out of here.
Alrighty.
This is a shorty today, ladies and
What
gentlemen.
the heck?
I know. I feel like I let you all down now.
I don't
No. It's
feel
okay.
like that.
Oh, okay.
I liked it.
Some of mine have been short,
Yeah,
but I'm short too. So.
it's true. She is kind of short. You can't sit in her chair in the studio.
You're not much taller than me,
My
buddy.
knees kept hitting my chin.
Your knees did.
All right, guys. Keep it spooky. I'll see you on the other side.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to The United States of Paranormal. Check us out at theunitedstatesofparanormal.com or at any other of our social media pages. At Twitter at TOSOPPOD, at Instagram at The United States of Paranormal, or Facebook at The United States of Paranormal, or YouTube at The United States of Paranormal 1795.
Please check out our other podcasts in the Golden Mojo Entertainment Network. The Call Guys, Golden Image Podcast, Indiana Chiefs Fans, The Golden 80s, Murd Nerds, and A Quart of Books and Booze.
And if you have a location you would like us to check into or a creepy story that you would love to tell us, please email us at theunitedstatesofparanormal@gmail.com. Please like, rate, and subscribe wherever you listen.